The first thing we got to do is work on our machine, right? So first, let's just make sure our VM is full screen. And then after you've made it full screen, up here on the top left, always make it exclusive mode. That way, it looks like it's your computer. Now we can do Control-Alt-Delete with no issues. We're in there. So again, you have renamed your admin, so your admin should be your own personal password. Do not do administrator, right? Awesome. See, I forgot my password already. Not really. Got fat fingers. All right. So again, we know this lab was pre-built. Everything's ready to go. The first thing that we did is we go to H, right? We make sure our H drive is showing up. H drive is right there. It's all full space. We go into there. We know our ISO is sitting in here. It's the only ISO. There's no reason to ask which one to pick. There is only one. There is no other option. Why would you need to know if that's the right one? All right, so I will close that one down. So on your local computer, you go in there and we named it what we were supposed to name it, your first and last name or first and last initial. So mine actually says Sean's Spangler, which is pretty funny, but I'll keep it that way. I'm going to come over here. We're activated. We know all that's good to go. Time zone's right because we know time is very important in all of these. And we also want to make sure our network and file sharing is turned on this also, even though I pre-done it. Seems like even though these were cloned for everybody, there might have been an issue with it. So I'm going to come up here and we're going to go to change advanced sharing. We're just going to make sure everything's turned on. Remember, this is part of your checklist. Everything you do, every time you do a clean install, you do this. You did this for 2 months. You did more than 50 installations. You should know how to do this. So if not, write it down. Don't just take notes and never look at them again. That's like taking your book and never reading it. Sounds familiar. I'm going to close out of that. So I put right here the Hyper-V. So we should all know our Hyper-V is sitting right here. By default, there's nothing in here, right? So my Hyper-V is up. It looks like it's working. It's good to go. So we need to make sure we have our resources. So I conveniently put the stuff in Dropbox. So we'll probably run into some errors here, but we'll find out. This is the first time I'm going to have, this thing's going to get angry at me, like always. Come on, come on. You can do it. There we go. So I'm going to Control-Alt to get out of here really quick. So I saved the link on my clipboard. So I should be able to go to edit and paste, and it pasted the link I have in here. So I'm going to hit enter on this. Once I click inside, it'll actually go to it. I don't want them to show me these messages. So I've got all the things that Yvonne had. I put them into a Dropbox. So I'll give you that link in a little bit. Going into here, so there's 2 things we need, right? We need our book, 7411. It's the class you're taking, so that's how you know which book you should have, because it's the name of the class you are taking. So I've got the book open here. I'm going to download it. Direct download. This might have a problem because it might not like me. Looks like it's not. Yep, see, there's a problem right there. So your current security settings do not allow for this file to be downloaded. So even though we're in the admin group, it thinks we are just a user. So the easy way to correct this is we just go back to our Hyper-V. Well, not our Hyper-V. Let me minimize that right now so I don't go clicking on it. Our server manager, which is always right here, or you can open it and it's right there. So what this is, it's the IE security problem. Settings right here. So right here, internet, IE, enhanced security configuration. I have it turned off for admin, right? So it's off. But the user one's the one that's affecting us, even though we are an administrator. So I'm gonna hit OK, turn that thing off for now. Now, when you're done doing stuff, you're gonna want to turn that back on so people don't go to websites and get viruses on here. So now if I come back here and click it, I might have to reset this browser, but hopefully that fixed it and we don't have that issue anymore. We know sometimes we have to do a reset. So does it even know that I clicked on it? find out. Let's do it again. Direct download. Nope, it doesn't like me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close it and I'm going to reopen it. Come back right here. I'm going to go up to edit and I can paste from my host system. Eventually, when it stops lagging. I need to not hit keys when it's trying to type for me. So go back up here. I'm going to do it again. Paste. There we go. Now we should be good to go. So since I closed the browser and reopened it, we should be good. And again, you also have your download button right there. If you want to download the whole file, it'll zip it. 2012 R2, I do not believe opens zip files automatically like Windows 10 does. But I want to have my book in my machine because it'll just make this that much easier. And if any luck, now we can download it, see? So I'm going to tell it to save, but I want to do save as, so I know where I'm putting it, because I don't want this in downloads, right? So let me go to this PC, and I'll put this in my documents, because that's where documents go. So let's save that. So meanwhile, while that's downloading, I'm going to go back, and his text file, day one setup, right here. So I'm just going to leave this right here open because I don't believe I have a docx viewer, but let's find out. It's better to find out than not. Again, make sure I'm going to save it in my documents folder because by default it's going to do it. It's usually in downloads. Luckily it's staying in documents. Day one setup, open XML. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's save it. Let's see what's going on with that. Alrighty. So let me minimize that because that's tweaking. That's so outdated. That's why it's acting weird. So it doesn't know what it's doing. So let's go to our documents right here. So it's right here. So since it's a docx, oh, it's a PDF. Huh. Nope, it's not PDF. I can't read. Wow. So let's go to these really quick. Control Alt. There. Now I can read them. I want to change that background color because that is annoying, right? Be honest, I don't know how to use this specifically. But I'm cool with just highlighting it like that. So drag that to the side because that's what we're going to have to build our machines on, right? All right, so let me go. To open up this PDF properly, we don't want to play around with this old school Internet Explorer, right? So let's get something we want. We're going to type Chrome, but it's going to give us Edge, right? I'm going to type Chrome right here. I'm cool with the new Edge browser. Works just fine. Technically, it is Chrome. So I'm going to close that because I don't need to see this stuff. Scroll down right there. I'm going to accept. I don't need to improve their stuff. Never give anything for free. Never, ever give anything for free. So let's see if I can get this done in under an hour. Yeah, I have until the 8 o'clock meeting in the morning. It's 7:07 a.m. right now, the 1st. Mayday. I will edit this video later, but this is just for you guys who are having issues. Don't say it's too fast or too slow. Just learn how to use your controls on the video navigation. You want to be in IT? Start acting like it. right, so now we have our new browser. Now I have everything I need to work with. So I'm able to change my view and go back to exclusive mode. So I ain't doing stuff outside of my machine on accident. So let's get started here. Okay. I don't really want any of this crap, so go away. There we go. So main reason why I was doing that is because I want to open up my PDF file, and that can open up. See, now it's giving me an option to open it up. So I double click this, and I should have options, and I should have highlight and draw options on it too. This is what's important. So I'm going to minimize this for right now because that'll be for later. I just want to make sure you have it, and this is how you can make this work inside of your virtualized host environment. So just think this is your host. Open it like this. This is your computer. So I'm going to minimize that for now. I don't need this anymore. Remember, we put that in documents. That's where we want them. So if we forget, we're cool. Close that. And I want to keep this open. So this is what we're about to do. So let me see. Let me snap that again. There we go. So I'm going to go to the Hyper-V manager. Should have my name right there. So I'm going to snap that to the right. So what we need to do is create these machines. First machine name is SID DC, right? So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to create a new virtual machine. I'm going to go next right here. So we're supposed to do this name and scheme right here. So I'm going to highlight. Just copy it really quick so there ain't no issues here. I hate typing right now, so I'm just going to do as much as I can with the mouse. So anything that has this right here, you're not supposed to leave that in there. I mean, and it says that specifically in the instructions. So I'm going to put my name, right? And for myself, I'm going to do it like that. Spell my name right. So this is just for me personally. So I'm flipping through, and when I'm doing screenshots, you guys and everyone else knows which one and who I was working on this. So this is Sid DC, Sean Spangler. So typically we just do the station name. That's why it's the hashtag or number sign, pound, whatever you want to call it. We're making sure this is saving this on the H drive. That's important because we don't have a whole lot of room on our C drive. So we go see C drive's almost halfway taken up already, and we have done nothing on it. So I'll close that up. So I'm going to go next. So right here, people were asking, do I do generation 2? We've always done generation 2. And if you take the time to read before you ask that question, the answer is right there. So it says this virtual machine generation provides support for features such as secure boot, SCSI boot, and Pixie boot using a standard network adapter. Guest operating systems must be running at least Windows Server 2012 or 64-bit versions of Windows 8. 2012 or 2012 server, Windows 2012 server, right there. So it gives you your answer right there, which one you should be using. So here, how much memory were we supposed to have? I'm only going to keep this one open so that I know that's what I'm working on. All right, so RAM, 1536, right? Now, don't forget your number lock, because I always will. So that's given us 1.5 gigs, and then we're going to use dynamic memory. So remember, later we have to fix that. Our checklist. So we have a few checklists. We have setting up checklist, and we have after we've installed checklist. So let me hit next here. Cool. All right, we want to make sure we're on external. This way this thing can activate. We always start external. After it's activated, we can switch it to private. Well, I'm going to hit next. So right here, this is not where you pick the ISO. This is the hard drive information right here. Connect virtual hard disk. This is not the ISO. Do not go here and start clicking right here and use an existing virtual hard disk. Right here is where we're picking our hard drive size, 80 gig. So we're going to just put 80 right here and hit next. That's it. That's all we got to do here. Good to go. All right. So here's where we're picking what we're installing. If you just setting this up really quick, or you are going to attach a hard drive later to install off of that, we can install system later. So if we do that, it's not going to put a DVD drive on here for us, and we'll have to add it manually. So we want to do images from file, browse, and it's on our H drive, right? So scroll down, go to H, ISO, right there. That's ours. It's the only one in there. It's the only one you need to use. I will hit next. So now it's confirming 4:11 a.m. I can't even spell my name right still. So 1 sec, because that's me. That's how I am. So let's fix that. I cannot see the screen from across the room. Cool. And that's why we have that thing, so we can double check. So I'll go all the way to the end. So now it actually says Sean Spangler and not what it did. Generation 2, 1536, confirmed. Network. What it doesn't give us is the size of our hard drive here. That would be nice since that's on our requirements here, but it doesn't tell us, but we can always check that later. And the operating system is being installed from the H drive, ISO, and the big old file name. That's the default file name that it'll give them when you download them straight from Microsoft. So that's why we left it like that. It says server in the file name, so you should know. A client says client. So cool. That's the first one built, right? That's all I got to do on that right now. We're building them. So let me build the next one. ADL, right? So let's go to ADL really quick. Virtual machine. Same as last time. I'm going to hit next. I still have it in here, so I'm just going to hit paste, and I'm just going to change that to ADL-DC. And my name, right? I'll do dash, spell my name right now. I'm going to Control A, Control C that for next. So again, we're storing it on H, so we can flip through here. Generation 2, next, okay. Size. So we're going to do 1024. So the rest of these are 1024. And we're using dynamic, that way that it doesn't try to hog all the resources if it doesn't need it. Remember, external switch. I thought I clicked on the wrong one. I didn't. All right. This is where it's saving it. The only thing we need to mess around with here is right here. This is 60 gig, right? Not 66, 60. Hit next. All right, install from the ISO. It should be already in that folder now. Since we've been there one time, it'll do the last one we were in. So we just click on that and we're happy, happy, joy, joy. Hit next. Okay. Name spelled right. Generation 2, 1 gig of RAM, external. Hopefully my hard drive was set up right, and I'm going to hit finish. That's that one. Okay. Next one, virtual machine. Next, coming over here. I don't want to highlight both of them, huh? Huh? All right. Come over here. Now we're doing CBR. CBR. So the name of this virtual machine, I just need to change the end, right? Pretty easy to do there. CBR-DC. Correct me, guys. Is that right? CBR. Looks good to me. Let's go next. All right, generation 2. Never ask that question again. Also, never ask if do we do upgrade or do we do custom. Why is he saying that? You'll see next. All right. Let's see what I forgot to do. Yeah, let's use dynamic. We'll go next. Network external. Next. We know this one. We don't change anything except the size. It's all about size. Size does matter. Sorry, guys. 60. All right, and then we want to install from a bootable, right? We've done this 100 times. This gets repetitive. Let's just make sure that we're making the changes that are different when they are different. Name's right, CBR, CBR. All right, good to go. Generation 2, 1 gig, external. Fire her up, good to go. All right, meanwhile, let me grab this one. Well, not grab it, but I just want to see what's on there. All right, good to go. Next one, virtual machine. Next, all right. Paste my old one, keeping that on my clipboard so I don't have to deal with it. The less I got to type, the less I can have spelling errors. DC, cool. Next, generation 2. This thing we should be able to set default. Always set that as default, and it doesn't. So 1024. Make sure it says 1024. Click that happy dynamic right there. Hit next. Connected is external. That's so we can activate, right? Next. All right. Right here, 60 again. Resources are important when we have 30-some students on one server. So we want to install from our ISO. We're not doing custom over there. Let's go open. Yep. Next. Confirm. Yes, 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 yes. Whatever that is. Finish. Okay. Cool. So I'm going to scroll this up for a second. Let's make sure we've read everything, right? So on your designated Tech House 3 Hyper-V server, create the following virtual machines with the following hardware specifications. We just did that. So next, for each virtual machine, once logged in, confirm that the operating system is on workgroup and not domain joined. Not domain joined. If domain joined, remove from domain and place it in workgroup. That was important when we were doing WDS, because sometimes WDS would automatically domain join since we're in our own isolated environment in our COVID-19 vacation. We don't have to worry about that part right now because we don't have a WDS. So we're good to go on that part. So in Hyper-V, open Virtual Switch Manager to create a switch or designate Hyper-V. Name the switch 411 AM private switch. So let's go do that really quick. I have one already in there, but it's good to go. So actually, I don't need to do that because the other one will still work, what I have on clipboard. So let me go over here, Virtual Switch Manager. We open that puppy up. So I already have a private virtual switch. But all you would do is go new virtual switch new virtual network switch private. Okay, you create it. I'm going to go to this private one and I'm just going to rename it. Okay. There we go. Just like the instructions, right? Minus the lab number, we're using our name, or some of us using the number that we issued your station to. It doesn't matter, whichever one you've on approved. All right, so that's all you got to do. So this is private, good to go. It says private here, last option. You don't want external, and you definitely don't want this on VLANs. So hit apply. Okay, so that comes into play later. We have made that. So that's not making a virtual machine named private switch. That is actually making a private switch. So we're done there. So for each virtual machine, confirm that the operating system is activated. So that'll be the first thing on install. Excuse me. Once each virtual machine is activated, proceed to page introduction XIX in the book and follow the exercise. I believe that's page 20 when we actually type it in on top. Notify instructor once complete. That means do not move on. Do not start doing labs. Make sure this is set up right correctly before you go to the introduction and doing it. So let's go and start these guys up, right? So this high contrast thing drives me nuts too, guys. I'm just going to select them all. I'm going to go start, which was probably I shouldn't have done because that's going to blow away something, but it'll just make them ready to go, and I'm going to connect to them. You probably want to do these one at a time, but I am time limited right now. So, plus I want to make sure we run into that problem anyways. So let me click on it. Come on down. I'll right click and I'll connect all those too. And I'm going to start in order. There we go. Cool. Why did this one open smaller? Interesting. Let's go to action. And I'm going to go reset. Reset it. Because I missed that screen, right? So notice how this is running slow. So you guys know why this is running slow? Same reason why all your guys' was running slow doing this. So let me go to action, turn this puppy off, right? Turn it off. I'm going to go to this one, action, turn it off, turn off. I'm going to minimize it. Same with this one, turn it off. So if you don't set your RAM properly, that's what's going to happen, right? That one did not turn on, so that's a good thing. So let me minimize that one because I don't need these open to do this. So I'm going to come over to this one. I'm just gonna make this thing, well, try to make it full screen. It didn't like that, so let me come up here. We're gonna go with the file and settings. So in here, we wanna make sure that our memory is not all glitchy right here. Since we did dynamic, it's gonna try to use whatever it can possibly grab, which leaves nothing for the host operating system, which makes everything run sluggish. So we are 1536, and guess what? My number lock turned off on its own. 1536. So be aware of that damn number lock. I'm gonna hit apply. So, and then okay. So if you go to that menu from the actual Hyper-V manager, so let me go to the next one. I right click on that and go to settings, right? Now we have an option up here where you can just flip through all of them. So let's just make this correction. We want our startup RAM the same as our max RAM. So 1024, this time it let me keep my number lock. I'm gonna hit okay. I don't need to move this. I'll go to the next one. CBR, right? Memory. Come down here, 1024. Apply, always apply, don't hit okay. And then the last one, mail, right? Memory, 1024, 1024. Then I'm gonna hit apply. So I had a typo, right? Or did I? It thinks I typed something wrong in here. Let's try this again. That machine, it thinks it's still running. Let's see. Who's still running here? Ah, it is. There we go. Turn it off. So even though it didn't say that it was connected or anything when we were looking at it a second ago, it was still running. So it's not going to let me apply this because it still thinks that that machine was running. So I got to close it. Go back in there, and now it'll change that so it doesn't think that it's running. So now I can go 1024. Hit OK. OK. Cool. So just to save us from confusion, let's get these fired up. All right. So I'm going to double click it. I'm going to power. I'm going to click inside, and I need to be ready for that hit the button at any time. So we played Jeopardy. We're in there. The price is right. Let's do this. Cool. Hit enter if that pops up. That's because I turned it off on the previously. So meanwhile, while I'm waiting for that one, notice these aren't running sluggish like they were a second ago. That's because we fixed the RAM. And then the last one. Cool. So I'm gonna go back to the first one right here. So English, United States. Install now. We're at about 20 minutes into this video right now. I'll edit it down later, but for today, this is what you're gonna get. So if all these, just take this and drag it if you don't know what's what. We're always gonna do data center evaluation with GUI. Hit I accept, next. We've never been able to upgrade. I've always made jokes about it, and people were still asking, which one do I use? Come on now, start remembering something. That is something simple to remember. 80 gig. This one's the only one that had 80 gig, so this is another spot where we can confirm we have the right size hard drive. Hit next. Cool. I'm gonna put that thing down there, collapse it, and we'll do the next one. Next, install. Fourth one. I accept. Next, the rest of these should all be what size? 60 gig. Hit next. All right, that puppy's in the works. Next one. Just these all have ISOs inside of them, and they're not sharing one from outside. You know, not like on the network. You have your own private ISO. These go much faster. Cool. And then the last one. This puppy is good to go. So let's see. Is Snap working properly? I don't think resize or anything's working. Oh, maybe it will. Maybe it will. Maybe we can get lucky. Cool. I'm going to put that one right there. Gonna go all the way back to Adele. %, on this one. This is our SID DC. This is our only domain controller that's going to have an Active Directory pre-installed on it. I want him up front because he should be done first. Mel is a good runner-up. So the reason why I'm doing all these at once too is I want to see if it causes any problems on the other. I want to see if this is what happened to some people when there was certain files were not copied over properly. So I'm going to pause this for a second. If I can remember which one pauses it. Never mind, I'll just let this go and then I'll edit it later. Well, while we're waiting for this, actually, let's talk about something. So I'm going to minimize. These will keep their locations. I'm just going to minimize them so they're out of the way here. So we need to go over our checklist, right? So let me make sure I didn't kill my screen recorder that's going on right now. So it's still going. Good to go. All right, going back inside our mission here. All right. So you got to think about a few things when these things open up, right? So I'm going to use Notepad really quick right here. And let's go to Format. font, and let's make this big so you can actually see it on a different monitor. Let's go 28. Okay, that works for me. All right, so first thing we need to check when this thing turns on. Number one, are we activated, right? That's on our little list, the elongate list. 2, turn on network share and discovery. Why? Because we're not going to be able to ping anything later if we don't do this, and we could have some issues. So, and then besides my can't type issues, but so that thing that pops up when it first turns on, if you miss it, that's what that was. That was to turn that on. But we're just going to not even worry about that. We're just going to make sure we go in there and flip them on anyway. All right. Third, we're going to go through our initial setup. Number 1 in the server manager. All right. We're not changing names or anything on it. All we are doing is making sure certain things are on. So if we go down the left list, which is going to be, let's get this right here. Remember, we're on a server, so let's go to, make this bigger. So one of the first things, we're going to go down the left side, right? All right, we're not changing the name. We're not changing work group. We said leave it on work group specifically. Don't make any changes. Okay, Windows Firewall on. That's okay. Remote management on. We want that on. Remote desktop. We want that on. Enabled. Nic Teaming. You're not going to have Nic Teaming. You only have one network card. Assigned by DHCP. That is what it will say. That's what you will leave it at. Okay, on the right-hand side, last updated. We need to change this to never check for updates, just like that. Then we're going to go to our last checked for updates, which should still say never. Windows error reporting off. Customer experience improvement. We don't want that on. We always not participate. Don't give anything for free. IE enhanced security. We're not touching that. Time zone. Make sure your time zone is set correctly to Central Standard Time, so it syncs up with your host computer and syncs up with the NTP time servers online, or else you might have issues with downloading stuff. And we need to make sure this is activated. So that's our checklist for when we're going through this. So remember, 3, local server settings, right? So we'll tab over on this one. So and I know I can't spell, so live with it. All right, cool. So remote desktop on, right? Cool. Next one, Nic Teaming. We don't have to worry about that. We want to make sure our DHCP. So we want to make sure there's no APIPA in there. That'll give us a big thing that, hey, there's something not right here. Either you started with a private switch or there's something wrong with the NIC card. Right now, it's better to know now than later, right? So what about the next? All right, install updates. Updates set to never. Time zone. Corrected by default. It's always going to say Pacific Standard Time. All right, what else? Cool. So this is what we need to keep in mind. First thing we go in there, don't start doing other stuff. Don't start messing around, renaming stuff. This is the order. That's why we put stuff in a specific order, that you check this stuff. Don't go skipping around and doing it in a different order. This is our initial install checklist, right? So I'm going to take this over here, minimize it. Let's see where we're at. Looks like no one is done yet. again, see it kept them right where I put them. Looks like we're done on SID. So SID is in its restart initial setup mode, so we can get ready to go through our checklist. Looks like the other one's firing up right there too, so we got a nice domino effect going. How you doing? 78. So see, you started catching up. Good to go. Again, we're just doing the initial hardware setup. We want to make sure this stuff is all good to go. We are not doing checkpoints in this video. So I'm not going to continue to the book exercises. This is just a show going through the checklist and making sure you did the initial setup right. I'll do another video after this one. So always keep in your head this checklist. Are we activated? Do I have network share and discovery turned on? Local server settings, remote desktop on, DHCP, no APIPA. So we want to make sure set updates. So we probably want to put an S in there, right? Set to never. We don't ever want this thing to update. It could break your lab in the middle, or it can take away half your day trying to do updates. Remember, this is 2012 R2. It's 2020 right now. This could take some time to update this. Time zone correct. Remember, you're in Central Standard Time. And make sure you are activated. Our first steps, make sure you're activated. Our last steps, make sure we're activated. There's a reason why I have it in there twice. We're at 42 minutes of the recording, so let's see if we can get this done in under an hour. Last one, restarting now. So let's go up to my view. I want to make sure my enhanced session is going to be turned on. Right now, it's not going to give me that option until after we're in there. And it won't actually do it until after we turn on remote desktop, because the enhanced session is actually a remote desktop connection to your Hyper-V. All right, remember server 1, 2, 3. That's what we use. So you are using server 1, 2, 3, server 1, 2, 3. Finish, and we should be in here. Does this give us the option yet? Nope, not yet. So we're gonna do, so we have Control Alt Delete right here, or we have Control Alt, what was it? Insert? Nope, inserts for your host, okay? So it's not insert. If you don't know, just go up to Actions. Control Delete is Control Alt End. So you can just do Control Alt End, and that'll do your Control Alt Delete. I'm trying to hit the problems you guys are having so that you can remember what to do later or come back to this video. All right, first setup is set up the accounts and everything for this. Since we've never logged into this computer, it needs to build the local profile. You didn't give me Happy Joy Joy yet? No Happy Joy Joys. All right, cool. We're on. So what's our first thing to do, people? First thing. Are we activated? Now right here, this is the file discovery. Yes, we want to turn it on. But we're still going to go through our checklist and turn it on the other way too. So right here, license is expired. So what you can do is usually you can right click and refresh your desktop. And now it says 180 days. It's activated right there. So that's one confirmation. Here we go. So checklist, configure this local server. That's the first thing we're going to do. We're not touching the name. We're not touching the work group. We're not touching firewall. We're not touching any of that stuff. So I know that we checked the network when it turned on. We actually made it to that button. But if you forget and you didn't get it, we go to Open Network and Sharing Center. We're going to go to Advanced when it pops up. So change Advanced Sharing Settings right here. We're going to turn everything on. Everything. Turn that on. Turn that on. So after you join a domain or create a domain, you're all going to have to do this again because there's going to be a domain option in here. Right now, there's not. I'm going to save those changes. So, all right, that's the second part of my checklist, right? So, are we activated? Yes. Turn on network file discovery? Yes. Local server. All right, first one, remote desktop on, right? So, let me close this. We're still in server manager right here. So, remote desktop is very important. So, let's go through here. We're not changing, not changing, not changing. It's enabled by default. We're cool with that. Remote desktop. Don't confuse desktop with management. We're going to click on desktop. We're going to just allow. Hit OK. It says it's opened up a firewall rule. We're just going to hit apply. Apply. And OK. So what that did is it automatically is trying to use the enhanced connection. So when I hit connect, since it uses it, it saw it, and it's like, hey, let's do it. So now you can see how I can resize my screen. It may or may not ask me to relog in. We'll see. It probably logged me out. Now I'm going to have to log back in as administrator. That's cool. At least now I can resize my screen. Maybe. Well, let's double check this really quick. I'm going to turn that off because I think it got mad at me. All right. We'll try that one more time. So you see how I flip back if it got stuck like that? Let me hit OK because I might have got mad because I didn't hit OK. And I can go back to view, enhance session. And let's see if it works this time. There we go. So it was just stuck. So let's go 1, 2, 3. Now I'm in enhanced session. Now I can do a true view full screen if I want to. See? Full screen. Good to go. So I'm going to undo that really quick because we're going through our checklist, right? So notice how it doesn't say that it's on. Well, it does say it's on. It's enabled, but it's because we logged out and logged back in. But typically it won't. So you want to, each time you make changes, you want to go up here and just refresh. If you want this to refresh sooner, you can go up to help. And we can change it right up here. So about server manager. Hey, I'm in the wrong spot. Oh, there it is. It's under manager, sorry. Server manager properties right here. So you can change the interval. So this is every 10 minutes it checks. You could set it like every minute if you want. A lot of times this will time out anyways. Default, it's 10 minutes. You always tell it, do not start server manager automatically at login also if you want. So I set that up for every minute. So right now, IP address, it's assigned by DHCP. So what I want to just do, all right, DHCP, right? No APIPA. Well, let's just make this full screen really quick because I don't want to accidentally be clicking, which I might still because it's not making it how I want it. So let me go full screen, full screen. Cool. All right. So we can always go right here. We have PowerShell. And I'm just going to say ipconfig/all. And when it decides to finally type that in there, again, since we have internet, I know we don't have a PIPA, but this is just our checklist if it wasn't working. So it is saying that we have an IP address right here, so we're good to go. We do not have an APIPA. Let me minimize that really quick. All right, so updates set to never. So let's go to our updates. So it's not configured. Cool. We're gonna click on there. Quick and in a motherfucking hurry. We're gonna come over here, change settings, click this, and never check. So when we hit OK, guess what? You magically, now you're up to date. Cool, awesome, just that easy. Just like government, right? All right, time zone, correct. Ours says Pacific time. We need to go in there and change that. Change the time zone. We want to be in our Central Standard Time. Not Central America, but Central. All right, let's come over here. Make sure you are activated. Okay, we did it at the beginning, and we're going to do it here too. So right here, activated. You can click on it, and it says, hey, if you want to put in a real key, no, we don't. We're already activated. We don't need to change it. But if you wanted to change it, you can enter a key there. So after that, we're good to go on this one. I am going to close it right here and go to the next one. So the runner-up was this guy right here. So let's see how fast we can get through this. Same thing, everything. Server 123, 123, enter. Control-Alt-Delete into it. Let me make it big. Okay. First login, right? Gonna give it a second, so let me just set these ones up because I want to be done in under an hour. I can't type. Cool. All right, good to go. Stack you guys over here. And this is the first one I'm logging into. Make this full. So it's doing first time login. This one, I can do my login on these two so they're ready to go, so I can flip over because this first login takes a little bit. I'm not multitasking. I'm just trying to use my time efficiently. Cool. Back to my main one. Okay, I missed it. You see? I missed the button because I was doing that, right? All right, so it says expired, but remember, we can right-click, refresh. See, it didn't work that time, so it's not activated yet. It's thinking about it. So back to our checklist. First thing, are we activated? Not yet. Turn on network and file discovery. That might help too. So let's go over here. I missed it. I did not get that button. So let me go up to here really quick, and we're just going to turn on everything that says off. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, 7:51, guys. 7:51 my time. So let's see. Come on. Come on. All right. On. Top one. On. Remember, when you come back to this, they'll toggle off automatically. It doesn't mean you didn't do this. It just means they toggle when you come back. So save those changes. Cool. I can close that. I'm going to number one option right here. All right. So first thing, remote desktop. Turn that puppy on. Allow. Okay. Apply. And now that thing might pop up. I'm not going to do it right now. Hit refresh. It'll say that it's turned on now. Well, it should say it's turned on. There we go. We don't do Nic Teaming. We're on DHCP. We're going to flip over here. So we're going to say never. We don't ever want this thing to update on us because we ain't got time for that shiznit. So we're going to go to change settings right there. Drop down, very bottom one. Magically updated now. Good to go. Cool. Done with that one. Closed. Okay, what's the next one? Time zone, right? Come over here to time. Change it. We're not Pacific. We are Central Time, US and Canada. All right. Okay. All right. Activated. Not activated. She's not happy. She says, I am not activated. Let's refresh that. says, I am not very happy. So this one's acting like, hey, I'm not happy. So what we can do, let me turn that session on. Enhance session. Connect. It's like, hey, I don't want to. So remember last time it glitched a little bit. Hey, Windows, I'm recording. Come on. All right. Let me do the Control-Delete, lock, Control-Delete again, sign back in. Type your password right, though. All right, so since it's not activating, let's check something. This one's acting not very happy, so we know we're going to run into this. So let's make sure nothing went wrong on install. Remember, I installed them all at one time. That could cause a problem. So let's find out. Why are you running slow, huh? Huh? Okay. Well, I don't want to wait on this one. So I'm just going to do what most of us do in IT, and let's just tell it to restart. Let's restart it. It's cool. Meanwhile, we can look at one of these other ones. This one looks like it's happy. Okay, let's pull him up. Yes. So clicking on that, this is network and file sharing. Are we activated? I can also check in here, right? Pull up the screen. Product ID right there. Scroll over. It says, I don't know. It says I'm not activated. Cool. We'll let it have its time to activate. So let's go back to our checklist, right? We'll get the stuff done that we know we need to do. So I don't know why I'm clicking on everything. Cool. Are we activated? No, we're not activated. We'll get back to that. Too many open, guys. Too many open. Cool. All right, back to crack. So are we activated? So far, these other ones don't want to activate as quick as the first one. Turn on network share and discovery, local server settings. Okay, so let's make sure our network discovery. I know I clicked the button when it turned on. Just for giggles, let me hit refresh one more time on this desktop. This one activated. So that's off our checklist. Make sure our network and file sharing, open. Come on. You can do it. Thank you. Turn everything on. Save my changes. All right. Go back back into here. We're in our settings. All right, we don't change that. We don't change that. We turn on remote desktop right here. Allow, apply. I don't want to mess with that right now because it's been acting weird on the first one. We are DHCP. We have internet activated, so it's also a way I know I don't have a PIPA. So I want to make sure this does not try to pull updates. All right, change settings. Never check. Okay. Good to go. Time zone. Good old Central Standard Time, right? No, not Mexico. Not Pacific. Just having fun now. Cool. And activated. So again, pull up your checklist. Are we activated? Yes. Turn on share? Yes. Local server settings. Remote desktop on? Yes. There's no PIPA. Update set to never. Time zone corrected. Make sure you are activated. Always make sure you are activated. In case you forget it there, don't forget it at the end. That one's good to go. So just for safety's sakes, I'm going to flip this down. I'm going to tell this one to restart, and then I'm going to close it. Remember, closing it there doesn't turn off your machine. So let's go back to this one. All right, this one's logged in. It's good to go. Let's see. I'm going to click on local settings really quick. And while I'm doing that, because I don't remember this is the one that we had earlier. Nope, it's not. So we're going to make sure where it says remote desktop. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. There we go. So make sure remote desktop. You can hit OK on that if you want to. I don't want to do it right now because I want to go to that black screen. I'm going to scroll over to the right. We want to turn off updates. It's 8:01. I'll edit this down to 1 hour though. But cut out all the slow stuff. At this point, you don't need to watch the rest of this video because you know exactly what to do on these. You can fast forward. Never check for updates. Hit OK. All right, close that puppy up. Time right here. We're gonna go Central US. OK. We are activated. And if I already did this, even when you come back, it'll still turn them off like that. I'm just double checking. Save changes. Close it. Are we activated? Yes. All right. Look back at the checklist. Am I missing anything? Yes, we're activated. Yes, network discovery is on. Local server settings. Remote desktop on. Yes. No PIPA. DHCP is on. Update set to never. Time zone corrected. Make sure you're activated. Good to go on that one. I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to let it do a nice clean restart. And I'm going to X right there. So I should only have, well, I should have one more that's waiting for us. that's the right one though. Might be. $180 days. This one's activated now. So since we're activated, we know we don't have a PIPA. Just quick double check while I'm waiting for that to open up. I know I already did it, but I just want to do a double check. And then this video will be concluded shortly. There we go. Enabled. All right. The HCP over here. Never check for updates. Central inactivated. We are done. I'm just going to do a quick computer restart on it and close it. That lets me know I'm done with everything. I don't have any opened. So remember, on initial setup, every time you install something new and clean or restart it, turn it off, make sure, are we activated? Make sure your network share and discoveries turn on. Local server settings, you need to do the remote desktop on, DHCP, update set to never, time zone corrected, and make sure you are activated. Thank you very much. And we are done with this happy, joy video. So I will see you on the next one. Have a wonderful day.